All right, up next to the Pecha Kucha stage, we have Ryan McCarthy. Ryan is two things. He is a very proud Grand Rapidian, and he is a veteran of the Pecha Kucha stage. All right, so without further ado, I offer you Ryan McCarthy. Ryan, take it away.
Hello. Thank you so much. I'm going to talk about miracles. This is the golden ratio, the golden mean. It is humankind's attempt to represent perfection. I don't know if anyone is familiar with the Fibonacci series, but there are a lot of answers in math. And this, again, is our attempt to show that we all are perfect beings as we sit right now. Don't change anything about yourselves. Sometimes, though, we get sad, and our energy comes back into ourself. And we are just the dot that starts at the beginning of that spiral. And that's okay, because we do feel feelings, and they can be painful, as we all know. Now, this is a nautilus shell. I'm sure you have all seen these. The nautilus shell grows in proportion to the weight that they can handle. The creature must keep building new chambers as long as it lives, and it cannot go back to the previous ones because it doesn't fit. It cannot stay in its present state, or it will die. It has no choice but to move on. New King James Version, Corinthians 10:13. No temptation has overtaken you except such as is common to man. But God is faithful, who will not allow you to be tempted beyond what you are able. But with the temptation will also make the way of escape, that you may be able to bear it. Nothing will ever be placed in front of you that you cannot handle. Nothing. We all have the power, intrinsically, primitively, spiritually inside of us to solve anything. But we do get sad, and sometimes there's happy people around, and that can be difficult, but it can also be a beautiful thing because we can't survive on our own. That is very true. I work at Fulton Street Church downtown. Somehow or another, they hired me. I don't quite understand it. I am a high school dropout. I didn't go to college, and I was in prison for 12 years. But yet, beautiful, amazing things continue to happen to me on a regular basis, and it blows my mind. It's amazing. More proof. That's the office. I just wanted to verify to everybody that I'm not up here telling any fibs or anything. So, I work 30 hours a week down there. It's an amazing place. It has afforded me some amazing opportunities. And I kind of stopped questioning why these things continue to happen to me, because I have faith in many, many things. This gentleman is Charles Gilchrist. He is a philosopher, a sacred geometry instructor, and my friend Randy over here had him down last weekend. He gave us keynote presentation, talked about sacred geometry, and how that all fits in with stuff. The reason I bring this up is because we made it happen. Randy found this guy, came from nothing, but yet these things continue to happen. Sometimes, though, things do get a little overwhelming for all of us, so as the last presenter mentioned, sometimes you do have to breathe. This is not actually specifically for me, but just a reminder to everybody that, hey, just take a breath. It's going to be okay. Because you don't want to wind up with an empty brain like this, okay? What we really want to do is to go to the next sheet and get all of this crap out of our brain, okay? We all are stimulated so many different ways throughout the day, and at some point we have to go and try to process this. Okay, so I have a blog, forgive the language. I still write, but who the fuck reads it? I don't know who goes on there, but I don't necessarily do it for you. I may, and if it helps, that's great. But I do some things for me, because I know what I have to do to continue on the path that I have somehow been placed on. This is a view of, I don't know if it's the Milky Way, but it's definitely a galaxy way up high. And I would like to remind everyone that same as above, same as below. If you think this could be a whirlpool, maybe, or this could also look like the first slide that we saw with the nautilus shell and the representation of the golden mean. The other thing I wanted to mention is I think we can all put ourselves in a place where whatever the subject may be, I don't get it. I don't quite understand how these things fit in together. And then finally, ding, 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 ding. And guess what? You know how to do, I don't know, calculus or understand music theory, how things fit together. Like I say, guys, I was very confused when I was younger. I figured some things out. I did it my way. There's other ways to get to the place where you may need to be. It took me a while, but when I started putting things together, some beautiful things happened. Now, think about all the alternate realities that could exist for this child. Eventually, the child makes its own decisions, but up until a point, the majority of them are made for the child. When the child is able to make its own decisions, it then becomes in control of his or her reality. Rose-colored glasses, okay, it's good to look at the world with a positive, put a positive spin on things. Sometimes things are tough. Sometimes things are worse than tough. But we do manage to survive somehow. And the question I pose to you is how? How did you get through that? How did you get through this tough situation that may have knocked you down in the past? For some reason, beautiful, beautiful things continue to be placed in front of me. One of them is sitting over there in the corner. And I'm a very fortunate man. And I wonder, though, when you're in the darkness with someone else, and you're walking, say, behind them, and you reach your hands out, and your partner's hands are somehow already there, just waiting for you to envelope theirs in and hold. How do you know that? How do you find that? You just know, right? You just know, and there they are. This guy here, I don't know if you've ever seen this gentleman down at Festival. He comes down every year, and it's kind of rough. So a couple years in a row now, I've decided that another voice needs to be heard. And so I stand down there with him, and I don't know, it's surprising how well received I am, not him necessarily. And my last little note here, and I'm not going to get into all the conspiracy theory stuff necessarily, but this is a very true representation, guys, of kind of what's going on at the top. And I just want to say, forget all the separation stuff. If somebody tells you that you're fat or ugly or stupid, guess what? You're not. You're fine. You're perfect. If you do decide you need some refining, you have the power to do so.